The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
It's The Local Show right here on 570 WSYR 106.9 FM. And you can see us on YouTube as well if you're really in for,
torture?
Yes. That was it.
I didn't know where you were going at that time. You didn't
or you're bored. You just want to get on there and see what Steve looks like.
Yeah, what I was going to say, what do those guys look like? Ooh.
Yeah.
All right,
That could be a deal killer right there.
Yep.
But we're enjoying this weather. Boy, during the week, it was just wonderful weather. You know, it's like God just kissed Syracuse, and it was nice. And sure, we get a little rain now and then, but it's been nice.
I'm a fan of summer.
Yeah. And this whole weekend, I have to go up to our old friends at Rocking Horse Farms. And,
there you go. You got a gig, huh?
I got a gig up there for a wedding reception, and they're just a beautiful place. Rocking Horse Farms.
Nice people, too.
Yeah. Julie and Keith.
Yes, there we go. And him.
I knew it began with a K.
And the guy.
Keith, yes. And I'll walk in and they'll look at me and go, "Who are you again?"
They will not.
Every time.
They know you.
Every time. All right. Look, a new person to the show right now. His name is Ryan Zlomek, and he's the owner-operator of the Skillshot Pinball Arcade and Event Space. How are you, Ryan?
I'm doing dandy. And you said my name right. That never happens.
Oh, really?
Thank you. Yeah.
I was going to ask you if it was right or not. Well, Zlomek didn't seem real.
That's when I'm like really tired.
Yeah.
How my name comes out.
Zlomek. What nationality is that? Is there a particular ethnicity?
I believe it is Czech. It means fraction. So
Really?
I'm like a part of a human apparently.
Very nice. Ryan, are you a Syracuse native? Did you grow up around here?
I am. I went to FM High School.
Very nice.
Graduated from there. Went to Binghamton for college, and then sort of moved back to start my career. I taught at Manly's Pebble Hill for a while. Now I teach at SUNY Oswego, and then I do pinball on the side.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So you're highly educated. I was going to say people who go to Binghamton are usually pretty bright. You know?
You didn't say that about Oswego, though.
We love both SUNY colleges. It's a fun fact. If you go and look at SUNY Binghamton on MapQuest or whatever, the mapping of the roads looks like a brain. Like that was an intentional thing in 1946.
Oswego looks like a mug of beer. Actually, if you look at it,
we've got a nice lake.
Well, my daughter went there, and my wife went to Oswego, and they both. My daughter didn't do the Bridge Street run, but my wife did.
What do you teach there?
I teach in the computer science department. I teach educational technology primarily.
Okay. So where'd pinball come from?
Where'd this all come from?
Who cares about my professional life? So, I think there's something to be said about childhood fascination. When I was a kid, I'd hear stories about my parents going to college and one of their frat brothers being known as Biggie, and you just have this sort of like bigger than life, opinion.
Sure.
And he lived in New Jersey, and we went to go visit him, and he had a pinball machine in his basement. He had a 1979 Dracula machine. And I just, as a young kid, was like, oh, adults, like they get jobs and they figure it out and then they get pinball machines. And that's basically like the road to life and success. So I just had this sort of like, I don't know, thing in my brain that wouldn't leave, that I needed to get a game. So when I finally got a house, I got some pinball machines, and then
did you have to restore them, or were they intact?
Thankfully, those were intact. I was a pinball novice at that point. I had no idea how to do anything. And after a few years, connected with some other pinball people, and then that's kind of where it got out of control.
And these were full size, not the kind of the
We'll say
baby ones.
Absolutely. Full-size industrial games. Yeah. I lost several friendships trying to have them help me move them into my house.
Is Bailey the only one that makes them, or are there a variety of these? I always think Bailey.
Yeah, so these days, Stern Pinball in Chicago is the sort of head manufacturer. There's Jersey Jack Pinball, and then Barrels of Fun, and Spooky Pinball, other sort of like boutique companies that are going. But Chicago's always been the sort of like home base. So to your point, like Bailey and Williams and Gottlieb were all based there. And then in the the 80s and 90s, they started to kind of die out, and one was left. There can only be one, Highlander, and it was Stern, and they're still doing their thing. We carry their equipment. They actually just came out with a new Transformers pinball machine that we just got in.
Very nice.
So tell us about your place. Where do you play? Do you go? Do you do? Do you buy? Do you sell? What?
And do you have things other than pinball machines? Do you have other games?
Charming personalities in some arcade games, absolutely. So, we opened in 2021. I previously owned a pinball vending company called Syracuse Pinheads, where I was doing the sort of traditional, like, put pinball machine at somebody's bar, restaurant, comic book shop. And it didn't make a lot of money, and it gave me a lot of headaches, but I learned a lot. And then as I was sort of driving around in the midst of COVID, was thinking about how, like, if you don't really make money in pinball, where do you make money? And it's getting people together to build community. And came up with this idea that we would be an event space. We'd be a place that people could come and have birthday parties and things like that. So I teamed up with John Gambacordo and Alyssa Simaluka, who own United Vending Service. They were way better at my older business model than I am. And the three of us created this event space. So we primarily are a place where you can rent it for whatever you want. You can have your baby shower, your bar mitzvah, your surprise family reunion, and just happen to be surrounded with $200,000 worth of pinball games to play.
Wow.
Otherwise, we're open Wednesdays and Fridays. We call them our unlimited play nights, and you pay $15 for adults, $10 for kids, and you get to play 25 pinball machines, 5 to 7 arcade games, as long as you want.
So what if I want the machine? Do I put a quarter on it because I'm in line? How does that work? Anybody old enough to know knows what I'm talking about?
I was old enough to know what a quarter is. Yeah. It depends. We're pretty quaint, so it's kind of go and wait around. But we have different event nights that tend to be pretty epic. So if you really want to play the Star Trek machine, you just sort of hang out and wait your turn. If somebody's a little overzealous on it, you kindly ask one of our attendants to maybe nudge them so you get your chance.
Where is this place?
So we're looking at 5949 East Malloy. So we're just south of the airport, still technically
How
Syracuse.
far out on Malloy? Like
right in between Thompson and Town Line, right next to the entrance to the Air Force Base.
Oh no, right by the base.
Yeah, right next to Lamar Science. What I always joke about is whenever they do the sort of like best of Syracuse, we always lose the hidden gem category, and I'm like, come on, like we are the best hidden gem. Like no one knows we're there.
That's great.
But it's kind of fun. I think there's some sort of part of the pinball history where it's like, there's 2 generations of people who've never seen these things, right? Like arcades have been dead for 25 years, if not longer. So, there's something to be said about like stepping into a place and being like, oh my God, there's a pinball machine. And I like to think our entire establishment is like that. Like you just like all of a sudden discover it and oh my God, you're at Pinball Mecca. It's pretty cool.
So is there food and beverages there?
We do all of our catering through Trepper's Pizza Pub. So if you're interested in throwing a party, we can help with the catering and do it that way. Otherwise, our unlimited play nights, we encourage people to bring food. And then equally,
that's interesting.
Yeah, like on July 24th, for example, we're gonna have Hermit's food truck there for our open play night. It'll also be like a Wizard of Oz night. We'll be raising money for the All Things Oz Museum.
Beautiful.
We try to do food nights kind of once a week as well. But if you want to, go get your Taco Bell and come and play some pinball. And
so can I just show up if I'm a loner that wants to play pinball, or do I got to be part of a gang?
I think you just described our prime clientele, my friend. Absolutely. If you're just, I preface this with the fact that like we're a community-based organization, and like when people come and they're just like, I kind of want to check out this pinball thing. We do my team does such a good job of just welcoming people and just letting you're a part of the pinball framework. Yeah. So if you're somebody who just wants to like go into flow state and play some games and kind of escape reality for a little while, your $15 goes a long way. And you can just show up on a Wednesday from 5 to 9 or a Friday from 5:30 to 9:30 and just play as much pinball as you want.
So not 3 plays for a quarter, not that old.
We do have games from 1977 to present is kind of how we
curate it. Those were 3 plays for a quarter.
Absolutely.
I was there, Tom.
Absolutely. But no quarter. To be clear, no quarter is required. You're $15 and you're all set.
No tokens, no nothing.
Nothing.
Does it still make the thump noise, that clack noise when I get an extra ball?
It does. There's knockers in the game specifically for that purpose, and I always make sure they're working.
So all the info, skillshotarcade.com. Did I get that right?
You are correct.
Skillshotarcade.com. Ryan, appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.